Hey guys, Heavy Arms 45 here. Recently, we had our second Democrat debates, and after that, during this whole thing, we're looking at, and I don't want to go in politics about this because this is not what this channel's about. But when it comes to basically politics, period, a lot of times in animes, you have several different politics. You have militarism, where like if you play Halo, Star Trek, or even um, Starship Troopers, basically it's good to be a part of the military. Military makes you a citizen, makes you someone who actually is able to work in community. If you look at Starfleet, everyone goes through Starfleet to basically get good jobs. If you're not Starfleet, you're a farmer or somebody else that's not really doing much of anything. Um, and I think even most people do like basic education in Starfleet. Um, then you have your monarchies, which apparently animes love, like Rise of the Shield Hero, the time I got reincarnated as Ooze, Queen's Blade. Oh, shouldn't probably talk about that. But the whole point is that everyone has the ability to, you have a king, and that king is the person in charge. And most of the time in animes, they're a good king. And if they're not a good king, they're overthrown because they're so evil. Like if you were playing Fable 3. Not my favorite Fable, but it was a Fable. Um, and in other cases, you have um, the idea that instead of a monarch or someone running, it's a council that actually runs everything. Like when you watch Fairy Tale, you have the Magic Council that basically controls all the magic on their continent. Then you find out about Zeref being an emperor of his own country, and they're a whole lot stronger than the rest of them. And if you didn't know that, man, you late, because that was back at the beginning of 2018 when they started doing the final chapter of Fairy Tale. And even when you look at Sword Art Online, when everything was broken down and they were trying to create order, they had a council to figure out what's going to happen, how they were going to go against the next level. They basically created a way of making sure that their society was able to go home. My point is that in most of these cases, a democracy is not normally what they choose. There's not a idea of, sure, you have times where there's a council, but it's not like what happens in our society where we vote up on somebody. It basically someone takes a position, and if you want them out there, it's over their dead body a lot of times. If Rimuru in that time I got reincarnated as slime, he kind of took power because he kept doing greater and greater things. Sure, he was voted into, but it was kind of like he was voted into a monarchy, because no matter what he does, he's always pushed one step higher. And it's like no one can see him as being less than what he is, because he gives all these people names. And because he gives them names, they get stronger. So who's on the fight an army of people that he's named? They're basically all his followers. So, with democracy being what it is, uh, not saying this is a bad thing, but it's not something that you see, I would say, in TV shows and stuff as something that is adventurous. Like, even if you take the show that they came out with recently, the Designated Survivor, I think it was, um, the whole democracy was basically destroyed for him to be able to do that. It's like, for everyone else to die, this person has become president. And that basically jumbled up everything else. If you take this idea of democracy is not entertaining, It's not entertaining to see a room of bunch of people arguing. You know, it's interesting to see one person leader that's evil or good fighting against another person that's evil or good. Like if you're watching Seven Deadly Sins, it's interesting to see the uh, Ten Commandments come and try and fight um, through the world to try and take over again. And you see this one king, and then you see Arthur, another king, and you're seeing that that's more action filled. It's not action filled to see a bunch of people arguing. So sure, you can watch a show that has something dealing with politics. Like we've had shows like that, like House of Cards. I want to say West Wing. There are shows that talk about the drama of it, but when you're dealing with anime and stuff, drama is not the only thing you're looking for. You're looking for something that has a lot of action. If it's not have a lot of action, it's a lot of, let's face it, fan service. Queen's Blade is fan service. Not always the best fan service, but it's fan service. And so that's why I say it's not really, when watching anime or doing a TV show, doing video games and stuff like that, and even the idea, I guess in general, of space, it's not viable to have a democracy because, as we see in reality, sometimes that creates red tape. Now, I'm sorry that I didn't come out with this last week. Mostly it was because of all the stuff that was being said on TV and on the internet that caught my attention, that I lost track of time. And I did originally make this one to be it, but it just didn't feel right. So I decided to do it again now, and took some time to do it the way I felt, which would be a little bit better. I hope y'all enjoy this. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.